is what you got for me.
Durag Diaries, yo, what's good, people? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while since we've had it live. We've been outside celebrating. You know what it feels like, European champions and all that. But look, we are back. We have got to focus. The season's over. We've got to look ahead to the new season. So today, and from today, you're going to be seeing plenty of transfer news. One of my favorite seasons of football, I must say. The transfer window is one of the best seasons in football because there's just so much going on. You still get the highs and the lows. You think you're getting a player, and then they get snatched away from you in the last moment. We all remember those big moments. Caicedo! Man, like how things happen. And the transfer window, it moves quickly. But today, we're going to be touching on the creative midfielder issue that Spurs have and some of the different options that Spurs have been linked with already. Some of the players that we have been linked with already. I'm already seeing someone in the chat, man, like THFC Kako asking about thoughts on Sane. Big up to you, first of all. Make sure you smash the like button on your way in. That's a standard. As you can see above my head, we are on the road to 2K, people. Yeah, real close. So tell a friend to tell a friend. Tell his cousin, to tell his mom. You need to be following Durag Diaries. Big up, smash the subscribe button, and tap the post notification bell. But THFC Kako, I did just release a video on Sane. So even if you want to check out of this live, press pause, go onto the channel. There's a little 5-minute video that I've made on Sane that has just been released at 1 o'clock. I've been seeing all the news. Don't worry. I won't miss out on any player. If I miss out on a player, you guys can get on to me. Flame me up in the comments. But if you want to hear my thoughts on player, feel free. I had someone DM me, Rayan, before. Hit me in the DMs. The socials are here. TikTok, X, YouTube, well, I suppose on X or TikTok. Hit me in the DMs. Let me know. Or even Instagram. If you've got players that you want my word on, what I've heard. And my thoughts on him. If I think he's going to be a good transfer to Tottenham. But we are going to be getting into that. We're definitely going to be getting into all of that. Don't know if you guys did check in. There's a new intro settings. Yeah, we're upgrading. We're on the upgrade thing. So soon enough, you'll be seeing some potentially new logo, new overlays, yeah, we're upgrading. Yeah, so keep a lookout for everything. Just keep your eyes peeled. But onwards to the players. First of all, big up to the chat. My like Ghost 88 coming from early. Eze and Sane. See, I was supposed to start the stream earlier. So if there was anyone that saw that, my bad, innit? I had to get some things prepared. It's half term, so people know this. It's busy things right now. Busy things. So there may be an interruption or two, but we'll deal with that as we go along. Eze and Sane would be so sick for us. Legit upgrade on our 2 wingers. And Romero, please don't leave. Give us one more season, brother. Please. Man, get on your knees. Pause. But I hear it, yeah. It's one of them ones. Romero, that's another one. Video dropping tomorrow. But we will touch on him anyway. People know my thoughts on Romero. Man, like Rolly Rolls Royce Romero. He really is the Rolls Royce because man ain't lost no final. I tried to snatch that chain off him. Said, bro, you might be a Chrysler, but hey, he showed me he's really the Rolls Royce. He's really the Rolls. It was just a bit dirty for a while. He had to clean himself up, yeah. Come back, and now you can see once you polish it down, rah. This car is clean. This is VVS. This is real VVS diamonds. So, Romero, we need you, brother. We need you. Actually, I don't care if we get any player. Romero leaving would outweigh any signing we get. Ghost is feeling that one. Ghost is feeling that one. Also, how could I forget? Yeah. Make sure you're getting the memberships. If you want to show your support in another way, get some exclusive content. Some of these videos that I'm going to be releasing, the transfer videos, are going to be exclusive to members before they're made open to, you know, the open public. make sure you tap the link in the pinned comment and you can become a delinquent or a descendant of Durag. Make your choice. But not sure on Sane from watching Bayern a lot this season. I like Sane, man. He's a huge upgrade on what we got in Sonny, in what we got in Odebert, in Tell. This guy is a proven goal scorer. And do you know what? We're gonna go through all of these, some of these players in it. But Sane scored what? I think he had his best goal scoring season for Bayern last year. So all this talk about Sane's not been that good. He's getting older. He's still got a step of pace. He's still got a rocket of a shot, and he's still a creative demon at times. Yeah, at times. Now, he may not be the level of Vinicius Jr. He may not be that level, but in the Premier League, when you're talking about wingers, there's not much wingers in the Premier League that are better than him. Let's have it right, man. Let's have it right. This is Leroy Sane, you know. Sorry. Just have to give me a moment. But are we getting Eze? We're going to get into all of that, Nelson Agala. We're going to get into all of that. Is Spurs going to get Eze? My boy, come on, you Spurs. He's feeling himself, Nelson. Make sure you're subscribed. I think this is the first time I've seen you in the chat, Nelson. But big up to you. M. Pacino. Can Spurs ever be as big as Man City? Well, can Man City ever be as big as Spurs is the bigger question. Let's have it right. Let's have it right. Yeah? Manchester City could never have the parade like how we had it up on the high road. From Edmonton down to Seven Sisters, yet jam-packed streets. But you want to try to tell me, Man City, their parade, there's about 50 people there. What are we doing? Think they could have 300,000 people down in Manchester? They don't even have 300,000 fans in England, cuz. Let's have it right. Man City could never be as big as Spurs. They could never be as big as Spurs. Maybe after another 100 years of another 100 years of just pumping money in there, just pumping all that oil money in there. Maybe. But we've got 100 years of heritage. Let's have it right. Spurs have got 100 years of pure European heritage. It's the history of the Tottenham. Remember that. It's the history. Definitely need power-ups in the forward positioning. No doubt about that, Soul Vanguard. No doubt about that. Man like Starcraft, first member in the building. Jords in the cut. What are you saying? I'm loving the new DP. Man like Sonny faded. Sonny was faded. You know, make sure, again, parade vlog is out now. You can see a little bit behind the scenes footage, some close-ups from my experience of the parade. I know I should have done more talking and actually speaking to the cameras then, but as you can imagine, just, you know, Sonny, how Sonny was feeling in there, that was me walking around. If I didn't have my shades at times, my eyes would have just been, I would have just been walking around like this. I'd have been like, yo. So I had the shades on. I was just walking around. You know, you can't see the eyes, but underneath them, I promise you, I'm like this. Can barely see in front of me. Like, as you can imagine, it was a proper day out, man. We were celebrating, we were having fun. So no, man. Make sure you check it out regardless. But we're about to get our first UCL cry. More City fans. Nelson, man. Yo, slow down. I don't know about first UCL. Maybe not yet, but the parade was definitely mental, bro. It was definitely mental, man. But Joseph, big up Jords. If we end up with a transfer window like last summer, then it has to be all out. # Levy out. A lifeline has been provided to Tottenham at the top. This window needs to be experience. It needs to be experience. Well, go on, Donna. What are you saying? I can't even lie, Donna. You ain't got that membership badge next to your name. So when you come in the chat complaining, yeah, and I see you when I'm around on other channels, Donna. I see you got the little, so I see you violating. Like, you're not even showing support to your Tottenham blooders. Yeah, we're blooders. We share the same white and blue blood. Yeah, we share that part. So I can't lie. Mind games, what's going on? You're doing mind games. So yeah, man. Man like Luke, big up to Luke C, also featured in the vlog. We linked up before even we got to the parade. Saw Luke first time, so you know it had to be. And yeah, bro, it was a he knows it was a solid day. Yo, Eze in the title. we will be tuning in. Most definitely, Caden. Most definitely. See, Crystal Palace fans, back of the nest, D. I hope you're watching because I've been seeing a lot of reports and they all seem to say that Eze is on his way out. He's on his way out and he could definitely be on his way to Spurs. Yo, big up Jords there. Big up to my guy, Mr. Udang. You know where it is. But let's get into the business. Which player should we start with first? Which player should we start with first? Because there's obviously been a few players that Spurs have been linked with in the titles. We'll go with we're gonna go with Eze. We're gonna go with the Eze stuff first because that's the one that I think a lot of people want to know. And I've been seeing quite a few stories about this. So let me share my screen. We'll go to, and first of all, let me pattern up. Let's take this away. We'll go over here. We're gonna go to this. I'm gonna go to this. There we go. You see, people, little, yeah, slow. I'm improving. Yeah, we're trying. You know that way there. And then share my screen. Let's just share a window. Makes it so much easier. Oh. Let me make this bigger. I'm not sure why this is coming up so small. Yeah, I'm not sure why this is coming up so small, people. We low-key need a zoom. We low-key need a zoom on this one. All right, this is gonna work for now. This will work. We'll pattern it up properly, but this is gonna work. So, this wasn't the first one I see. This was not the first one I see. We're gonna have to get up. All right. Yes. So, firstly, Eberechi Eze, as we can see, Spurs could sign future Ballon d'Or winner. Oh no, this is so this as you can imagine, they mix and match the thing articles. They're joined together, but this is about the Eberechi Eze and Cherki deal. So I've been seeing a lot of different reports alluding to the fact that Spurs, they want Eze. Eze's remained a top target from last season. We know going into that summer transfer window last year, we was briefed time and time again that Eze would be on his way to Spurs. Spurs are willing to bid. Spurs are willing to put the money out there for him. But ultimately, it never happened. Ultimately, for some reason, Spurs never put in a bid. It never happened. They end up selling Elise and they managed to retain Eze for another year. He's went on to have a really good season, one of his better years for Crystal Palace. Look, we've got the stats up over here. Yeah, got the stats up over here. Scored 8 goals, got 8 assists, 4 goals in the FA Cup in 5 games. Pivotal for them to win their FA Cup ultimately. And also got 14 goals, 11 assists in 43 appearances for them. He had a very stellar season. We know, look, he plays off the left and in the middle, mainly in the middle, but definitely does appear off the left. A lot of the times when he's taking on players, you can see him dragging it from the other side. But as you can see here in this report, Tottenham are facing frustration in their pursuit of Eze, as there is an internal feeling that they will not have the finances to get the deal over the line, even though there is already awareness of what it would take to force Premier League counterparts Crystal Palace into agreeing terms. The England international has a £68 million release clause written into his Selhurst Park contract, which will reactivate when the transfer window officially reopens for business, meaning Eagles are in serious danger of being left helpless if Spurs or another interested party ups the ante in their pursuit. So now, as you can see here, Spurs are willing, and well, not Spurs willing. Spurs know the price tag. They know that it's going to be £68 million to prize him away. Every club knows that. You don't need to negotiate with the club. You just put the money down. So if Spurs are willing to make that bid, which I've seen varying reports say so, this is just one of the reports saying otherwise, apparently. But I've been seeing other reports. I think I've lost it. So don't blame me, but I've definitely seen other reports saying Eze, Spurs are willing to bid. They know the price, especially with us getting this Champions League football. Now, some people are going to say, why would Eze leave Crystal Palace and come to Spurs? Now, for one, they're playing Europa League football. They're not playing with the big boys. They're not playing on the level that we're playing. They're playing, we're playing at Champions League level now. We're going to step forward. Now, if they become Europa League champions, then they can talk to us. But they just got their first trophy. They just got their first taste of blood. And I think Eze is going to be looking to take that next step in his career, like he's seeing Elise done. Elise is now playing for Bayern Munich, just won a league, just had an amazing season playing with some top-level players, taking his game to that next level. And I think Eze needs to do that. Obviously, at Crystal Palace, they have some talent. They have some good players. You've seen him link up with Mateta and Ismail Assar this season, and it's looked very good at times. But there is a limit to what you can do with Crystal Palace. There's a limit to what your ability will do. We saw Zaha get held back by that club for so many years. So I feel like he's going to want to learn from their mistakes and come to Spurs. He's going to want or move to another club like the level of Spurs. Now, in particular, with how I think we could use him, I think Eze would be perfect for that hybrid role that, especially in this system right now, you see Maddison play. We know Maddison's injury prone. We know Kulusevski can operate off the right, can operate in the middle. I personally want a replacement for Maddison, but I know that's not going to happen. But Eze is a player that can operate off the left. Now, I think he is better when he's in that creative middle and you just give him the freedom. He's a maestro. He gets to do what he wants. He's just naturally creative. He's going to be a bit skillful. He's going to take those risks. And that's what we need. I think a top club requires options. Now, if you have players like Kulu, Madders, and Eze, they're giving you plenty of options to compete. We're playing at Champions League level now. We can't afford to have 2 injuries like we had and then rely on no one coming through in that number 10 role. So Eze could be key for us next season if he's willing to make that move. But just moving on with this, says GMS sources have been informed that Tottenham are fearful that Eze, who showcased his ability by putting in a match-winning performance for Crystal Palace in their FA Cup final victory over Manchester City last weekend, will be out of their reach, and there is little chance of paying what it will to recruit him. Now you can look at his FA Cup final. We already know he had a very, very, very good game, scoring the match winner. You can see here 2 shots, 1 on target, 1 goal. He got fouled 3 times, 3 interceptions. 1 out of 3 successful dribbles was pretty poor, but they was playing very defensive that game. It was one of those games where you knew that Crystal Palace were going to have to play that way to get through it. So on that note, look, the Eze stuff, who knows? He could be on his way to Spurs. He could be on his way to Bayern. I'm seeing man like KSSJ said he wants to reunite. They want to reunite him. I've also heard that there's other teams involved, interested in Manchester, in the Premier League, like Manchester City. But the sticking point is going to be whether Crystal Palace are willing to negotiate that price down. We know from previous years when Elise had his first offer accepted for £38 million, he had a release clause, and Chelsea had agreed a deal that he was on his way pretty much, but then he agreed to basically Crystal Palace going to sign him on a higher wage 1 season, get £65 million for him next year, and they worked it out that way. But are hard negotiators. It took years for Zaha to go away, and he eventually left on a free. Mark Gahey, we saw the transfer saga that entailed last season. Man like Newcastle, they were bidding and they just kept batting them away. They kept saying, yeah, do 5 million more. Reject. Yeah, we'll have 5 million more. Reject. So they play games. So I think they're going to have to try and negotiate a deal. Maybe do what Wolves were looking to do with Manchester United. I don't know. Eventually, they said, nah, bro, we want the money up front. But then they agreed something that actually worked out. But you're going to have to accept it in installments or somehow, because no Premier League club is going to pay 68.5 million up front for Eze. I'm sorry, I think he's a top player, but 68.5 million up front? You're going to have to, it's going to be hard, very, very hard to get a Premier League club interesting for him. And I don't know if I see overseas clubs coming in for Eze. I'm really not too sure. I'm really not too sure on that one. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see. But let me know what you guys think on Eze to Spurs in the comments. Let me know if you think this is a player. Let me know if you if you think this is a player Spurs should be in for, or if you think what other Premier League clubs you think could be in for him. Who should get him? Where would Eze where would he excel more? Do you think that Eze's Tottenham's a good move for him? Do you think that he needs to go to another club? Do you think we could ruin his career? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. And if you're watching on the playback, let me know in the comments section. But moving on from Eberechi Eze, we're going to talk about the boy wonder. The boy wonder right now, man like Cherki. Man like Cherki. I don't know about you guys, but he's giving me that Adel Tatem Ben Arthur feeling. Yeah? This is Mr. Jogo Benito himself. I've been watching this player. I can't lie. FM20. This is when I first heard about the kid. Yeah, because I used to be an FM player back in the day. FM20 is when I first heard about him when he was like 16, maybe 17. How old is he now? How old is Cherki now? Let's quickly check this here. We've got his transfer market on. He's 21. So in 2020, yeah, he'd have been 16. Exactly that. I heard about him when he was coming through the academy. FM were giving him these 5-star ratings. You've got to get this player. So I started watching him. Started just, watching the compilations, keeping an eye on him. I'm seeing, whoa, this guy, and there's another player, Amin Guri. Them ones, they were on they've been on the radar for a while, yeah. The things he was doing, I don't know if people are seeing, like, the technique is so natural. Like, these players that are bred from Lyon, they come from France, the Algerian. That's the key part. These Algerians from France, they play with like they've got the lazy, they're lazy with it, but they're cold. And that's what Ray and Cherki is. He's one of them, man. Like, probably puffing shisha. He's gonna be on Edgware Road after games, but that's fine. That's fine. Because he's a baller that's worth it. Luxury player. Having a look at some of his stats this season, you can see 44 games, 12 goals, 20 assists. He is a creator. 8 assists and 4 goals in 12 games in the Europa League. He scored a couple in both games against Manchester United. Unfortunately, we know how that game played out and their defense was poor. But he scored 8 goals and got 11 assists in Ligue 1. And in the Coupe de France, they only did play 2 games and got knocked out fairly early. But as you can see here, one of the key things about Cherki and why I think a lot of people are interested in him, it's not just because he's available for 22 to 25 million euros. It's not just because of that, because that's very nice. Let me not lie. That is very nice. It does leave you to ask, why is he so cheap? But we're going to get onto that. But look at the amount of positions that he's been deployed. You can see central midfield, say 10 appearances in attacking midfield. He's deployed off the right a lot more. He's definitely deployed off the right a lot more. But he's a type of player who, when he's on the ball, you can have a rotating free. You can let him play behind you. You can just see, you've got to give him freedom. You got to say, bro, do your thing. Just make magic happen. The boy wonder. 21 appearances on right wing. 1 there, 2 off the left. So he's mainly an attacking midfielder and playing off the right. But look, this is what we've been hearing from him. The meetings have been held with Cherki's representatives. Meetings have been held. JMS sources have been told that Tottenham have already held initial meetings with Cherki's representatives to uncover. Sorry, I should zoom in more. My apologies, people. I should definitely zoom in more. Why is it not zooming in anymore? All right, it's not letting me zoom in more. My bad, innit? My bad. Oh, look, it's bugging. It's just bugging. All right, at least we're zoomed in now. All right, that works. At least we're zoomed in. It was. You're moving mad, KG. We're doing the serious transfer talks right now. We haven't got time for whys, yeah. None of that. None of that business. Not right now. When we're on the panel shows, we can why demand them up, but not right now. Man like Raf, come on, big up to you, my bro. Mr. Udain thinks he should go to Eze should go to Man City. Ray and Cherki, that dribbling against low block. Wow. Bring him to White Hart Lane, no doubt about it. I don't think Eze would push for any move. Palace sources would have been saying he's content and won't push for a move. I don't think he'll push for a move either. I don't think he would push for a move. But yeah, back to it. Cherki. We're talking about Cherki right now. They've held meetings with Cherki's representatives to uncover more on his situation and the terms he'll be looking for, but they will only have a better idea of what they can offer him after the Europa League final against Man United. So this was a few days ago. League One outfit Lyon have confirmed that winger who has been labelled as a future Ballon d'Or winner will leave the Groupama Stadium ahead of next season, giving Spurs additional hope of being able to secure his services. The North Londoners have intensified their pursuit by entering conversations with his entourage over a potential switch. Tottenham have declared their interest at a time when Cherki is continuing to assess his potential landing spots. GMS sources understand that Crystal Palace could prove to be among the capital club's leading competitors for his signature as they prepare for a campaign which will include European action. Also saw on here, we did see another, and I saw another story. Let's scroll through here because we've got it over here somewhere. We got it over. Oh, no, it's not on this page. There it is. There it is. Sorry, people. Also seen, Fabrizio Romano has tweeted and stated that Manchester City are also looking at Ray and Cherki. So as you can see here, people, this is not going to be an easy deal to get done. This is not going to be an easy deal to get done at all. He's going to be available for a low wage, a low fee. So that puts a lot of teams in the ball, in the ring. Everyone's going to be fighting out for him. Now, for Spurs, we have to make sure that we are one of the top teams. And the thing we've got to do is just go in nice and early and offer him big money. Give him the wages he wants. For 25 million, throw 150, 200k a week at him. We've done it with Ndombele. We've done this exact thing with Ndombele. We paid 65 million for him, put him on 200k a week. And look, that went wrong. But this player's got some real talent. When you look at him on the ball, some of the things that he does, you're just like, wow. Some of the creative spark he has against low blocks, as Mr. Udang says, breaking down low blocks. He's a dribbling phenom. He loves to take on players, but he's also one of these players that have got an eye. They've really got an eye for a pass, always looking to play it forward. And we're going to go through some of the stats and comparisons between all of these players that we're looking at. But this is going to be a sticking point because Manchester City just want everyone. They just want everyone. Why can't I have one player to myself? Hearing Eze, Morgan Gibbs-White, Cherki, Reinders. We know when Manchester City get involved in the deal, you're just like, like why? Just leave some players for us, man. You've already got Bernardo, you've got Foden. They're signing. They've got Savio, you got Doku, you got Grealish. Like, let us have someone, bro. So if they reignite their interest into Ray and Cherki and really look serious, let's have it right. Spurs don't have a chance. We don't have a chance, but I would absolutely love to have Ray and Cherki at Spurs, man. He's a dangerous player. Dangerous player. And I just think for the adaptability that we need in our system, we need players that can play in multiple positions, players that can be coached, players that are young. At 21 years of age, he fits our young profiles that we like to look for. He can play off the right. We know, look, we got Brennan Johnson, but he's way better than Brennan Johnson. But it gives us another option off the right. In the 10 again, just like Eze plays off the left and in the 10, he'll play off the right and in the 10. So it gives us multiple options. Multiple players that can play in multiple positions. And that's what we need for Champions League. Not going to cost a lot of money. So I think this could be a deal that Levy and Spurs definitely could look to get done. And if you're going by this Give Me Sport article that was made. Spurs have already had meetings. So let's see, man. Let's see. Man says, young with no end product. Sorry, I've just seen what Mr. Udang has said. Oh crap. Let me stop sharing screen for a second. And share. I'm gonna get that up. Let me get that up. Give me a second. In fact, in the meantime, let's do that. Gonna get that up. I can't lie, Mr. Udang. The link you sent me only sends me the link to the page. You're not actually I'm have to type. Let me put the players in. I'll put the players in so we can see a little comparison between him and Eze. All right. Let me share my screen. I'm gonna show you a little comparison between him and Eze. And also, let me just fix this background because this one looked a bit bugged, man. It was shared. All right. There we go. So, as we can see here, a comparison between Cherki and Eze. I'll zoom it in just a little bit more so people can see because I know it's a bit tough on the share screen with the white background and stuff. So, well, I can't even lie. The age comparison is mad, isn't it? Because they're very different. This is what I mean. Eze is at the age of where you expect him to lead a team at his level and take them on. And Cherki's still a young prospect coming through the ranks. But as you can see here, progressive carries. Cherki's just absolute. Look, you just have to look at the stats here, to be honest. You don't even have to go through the numbers. Cherki is outperforming him in every single metric. So when you're looking at the comparison of what players you should be going for, you've got Eze at £68 million because he's English. And not just because he's English, he's talented, but because he's English. English is English. Do you know what? This is the perfect picture of English tax. This is English tax. This is what gets you £68 million. This is what gets you £25 million in Liga Un. Outperforming him in every metrics. 93.9 progressive carries. He's in the percentile. Yeah. He as opposed to Eze in the 48.2. Dribbles 78.6 as opposed to 45.8 and 54.8. Non-penalty goals 84.8 as opposed to 66.8. Assists 98.2 percentile compared to 73.4. 96.8. Like, and the minutes, of course, look, his percentiles are a bit higher because his minutes played are 500 less. There's no doubt about that. And I am an eye test man. People know me. I am a man for eye test. They both passed the eye test, but Ray and Cherki, yeah, the 10 out of 10 marks on the eye test. Like, he's one of the guys that you're watching and you're like, yo, did I really see that? Like, I'm testing if my eye test is the measuring is off the scale. It's like when I watched Lamine Yamal. I watched him. I was like, yo, don't know if my eyes are seeing what I really think, but this player is generational. And that's what I'm saying about Yamal. And I'm not saying that for Cherki, but he definitely passes the eye test by far. So, no, if we're talking about which player I would prefer personally, there's no doubt about that. There is no doubt in my mind it's going to be Rayan Cherki, man. Got to be Rayan Cherki. But on to the last player on the list, because we're going to do some more stats comparisons soon. But on to the last player on the list. We have been seeing this man. This man right here, Xavi Simons, as some people may say. Xavi Simons. Yeah. Or Simons. however you want to put it. This is another boy wonder. Fresh out of Barcelona's academy, went over to PSG a few seasons ago, but never really got the chance. He went and played at PSV. Had a loan at Leipzig. And then after a loan at Leipzig, he got sold to Leipzig. And now he's looking for his next step. Leipzig aren't playing European football next season. So he's looking for his next step in his career. And that next step may well and truly be Tottenham Hotspur. We have been eyeing and watching this player. I've been seeing reports about him since 2023, from when he first made that move to PSV. I've been wanting this guy. He is special. He is really, really special. I just have to say, what a player. This season, we'll get his stats up so we can see that, just like we have done with every player. He's only played 33 games. He's played a lot less than the other players. About 10 games less. Still in the Bundesliga, in 25 games, got 10 goals, 7 assists. In 5 Champions League games, Leipzig were poor, man. Leipzig were extremely poor. So he didn't have great performances in them. Only 337 minutes. But in the DFB Pokal, in 3 games, he got 1 goal, 1 assist, which left him in total with 11 goals, 8 assists in all competitions. And as you can see, very similar to Eze. Deployed off the left, deployed in the middle, a player that Spurs need. A position that we require, the adaptability that we need. So I feel like this might be my favorite player of the 3. This might be my favorite player of the 3. Now, I know I was just gassing up and maybe glazing a little bit of Cherki, yeah? But I think because, you see me, I'm a car boot sale man. I don't mind, so you know when it's coming out for cheap. Bring that my way. Bring that my way. So when I'm seeing 25 mil, I'm thinking longer term, Spurs, cheap. This may be a better deal for Tottenham. But when I talk about my favorite player of the 3, Xavi Simons. Oh my God. This guy is silky. The passing is so good. The line breaking, the shooting. I know people watched in the Euros for Netherlands. Balling out. Xavi Simons is serious. He also played last season in the Champions League. You would have seen against Champions League last season. Pretty sure it's Champions League last season. Against Arsenal, I think he played in the Champions League last season. No, not Liverpool last season. When he was playing, do you know what? I remember watching the game. Xavi Simons is a serious player. He's a chance creator. We'll go through. Do you know what? In fact, let me show you let's go through some of the stats. Let's go. In fact, let me stay on ahead. Yeah. Let me stay on for it. Let's read the report first. Let's read the report, because some people are like, Jords, where did you see this? Where did you see this? Yeah. So, fresh off winning the Europa League and securing qualification to the Champions League, Tottenham Hotspur are prepared to make a move for one of Europe's brightest talents, with the Lily Whites reportedly keen on making a statement about their ambition. It was well documented that Spurs were not in a good financial shape heading into summer, given the club's substantial net transfer depth. However, qualifying for the Champions League has been a game changer for the club, with Tottenham set to receive huge financial windfall. It has now been claimed that the North London club are ready to flex their financial muscle in the transfer window by securing Dutch starlet, who has been making waves in the Bundesliga. Now, the report named themselves Fischage. Don't know how to say that, innit? Allow me. Don't know how to say that one. But they claim that Tottenham have identified Xavi Simons as one of their priority targets after securing passage into the Champions League. The report says the Lily Whites are seen to supplement their squad with elite talent, and they have identified the RB Leipzig man as someone who can elevate their side. while Simons is valued at a whopping 67 million by Leipzig and is attracting interest from several European clubs. Tottenham Hotspur's qualification for the Champions League could facilitate a high-level negotiation with Bundesliga side for the Netherlands international. So, as you can see here, people, he's going to cost a lot of money. He's damn sure going to cost a heck of a lot of money. There's no doubt about that. Spurs are going to have to pay a pretty penny. But he's a player that's worth it. He's worth the money. Now, the one thing that is going to be key about him is we're going to have to maintain the level, and we're actually going to have to sign players at his level. So bring in more Champions League level stars, because Xavi Simons is going to want to play Champions League every season, if not Europa League. And he's not accepting seasons without European football. We've seen that. He wants to move from Leipzig because they're out of European football, I'm pretty sure, straight away. And Raf, I've already got that loaded. Don't worry. Literally, I've got that all loaded. So maybe take a touch. Wait a second. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. I got you, my bro. But he's going to be attracting a lot of interest right now. As you can see, several European clubs. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some other teams in the Premier League. Maybe Man City are going to come in and try to steal the star man again. It might be Liverpool if they can't get Wirtz, if that deal doesn't get wrapped up. Though it does look like Liverpool have got the Wirtz deal done. And shout out to them, because that is, again, when you look at the creative midfielders in the Bundesliga last season, you'd look at Wirtz, you'd look at Xavi Simons, and then you're looking at Jamal Musiala. They're the young trio who you look at and be like, yo, these players are serious. But Wirtz is definitely we have to, from proven level, Wirtz is the best of the three, and then Musiala and then Simons. But Musiala and Simons, for me, it's close. It's close. I think for me, Musiala's just done more because he's played at a better team, so you've seen him at a higher level. But let me come to the chat, because I know I've been ignoring the chat for a while. There's been a lot going on in it. We're trying to stay focused, but let's come to the chat real quick. Hey, now that's a baller. There's no doubt about that. That definitely is a baller. Spurs should do what Marseille did last season in terms of recruitment. Yeah, Marseille made some very smart recruitment, man. You're seeing they're now in Champions League football. I'm pretty sure Mason Greenwood had a very, very good season. You saw why did my mind just go blank all of a sudden? I remember all the players they signed, because they signed bare players, but my mind just went blank. I had all the players in my head for a second. But I'd like Xavi. He's young and direct. Well, go on, KK, my guy. Big up to you, my bro. Man said the French connection. Hey, the French connection for real. If we get them, you could have Tell, Oderbert, Cherki. It could be a mad trio. It really could be a mad trio. Web dev, we'll get around to your comment. I suppose you're asking Eze Ademola, Mutoma, and Buemo. There's some good options. I hear it. I'm hearing we're in for Angelo Stiller from Stuttgart. Yeah, I have seen some reports of that, but not too many. Leroy Sané News just released a video on that, KK. So if you want to know what's going on with that one, definitely go check out that video. But Jay Spurs, man, he is very silky, bro. Very, very silky. Like, he's so cold. Xavi Simons is 100 million valued on transfer market. I think he is. He's valued at a lot of money, but they're not going to get 100 million pounds for him. So you have to just you have to wait sometimes. You have to give it time, bro. Like, when you negotiate, you start off at 100 and you work your way down. So Xavi Simons is probably going to go for about 80, 75, 70 mil, maybe 65. It depends which European club he goes to. If he goes to, say, he goes to Spain, Barcelona, they're going to pay 70, 80 mil. But if he goes to a lower level Champions League club across the world, maybe if he goes back to, you could see it happening for around 70, in and around that price. They said he wants 67. It will include a lot of add-ons. But look, they're getting on to me. Do you ever respond to chat, mate? Yeah, I do, actually. I do respond to the chat. You've just got to let me get around to it, yeah? Clearly, someone's new to the channel. Are you even subscribed, mate? Yeah? Are you even subscribed? And furthermore, we're not even on 50 likes. 53 people in the building. We're not even on 50 likes. So I'm gonna give you guys a second. Let's people like the video, and then we're gonna continue. Because I can't lie, mods should be doing your thing. There's quite a few mods in here, and I'm not seeing no one tell them to smash the likes. Yeah. What is it? Because they Durag Diaries, man. I'm not trying to show love. Yeah. Madness. But we'll give you a second. Let me drink some water. See, that's more like it. Look, we got up by 11 likes in just a couple seconds. So that's what I like to see, people. Big up. But he is made for the Prem, STFC. Bro, he's definitely made for the Prem. There's no doubt about that, man. We've got let me try scroll down because I'm way behind. So give me a second, people. Xavi would be a good signing, but we'll end up with a player from Ipswich, Leicester, or Southampton. Do you know what? The bids, the news has quieted it down, but I definitely think Tyler Diblin is still one of Spurs' bigger targets. I definitely think that. And if we're gonna spend 50 million, I won't be surprised if Tyler Diblin isn't that player. Like, it's very likely that it's gonna be him. Trust me, if we can pull a Maz and get Angelo Stiller, midfield is sorted. Elite passer next to Bergwijn is what we need. Star Crow's got us saying Sane, Angel Gomez, Jonathan David, all three can't go wrong. Cherki 20 million now. Do you know what? Angel Gomez, that's a player that I'm very, very interested in. Angel Gomez. He is available on a free. Now, he's not the 6 that we necessarily need, because I feel like we need a player that can break down the play and be a good passer. But he is someone in the midfield that we could require. He's available for free, so he's a risk-free investment. It's going to be probably available for a low wage of around 100 to 120k a week. And I feel like he's ready for that move at the top. He's been at Lille. I've obviously watched him play for England, the under-21s, when they won the Euros that time. He's talented. He can move the ball really well. He's linked up with some of our midfielders already. So I feel like he could be a player that could improve us. But at the same time, he's not the 6 that we need. We need someone of a higher quality. The Stiller one could be good. But look, Caleb's just put in the chat, breaking, Stiller agreed personal terms with Real Madrid. Deal close. I don't know what source you've seen that from, but hey, I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. Slap the likes, people. Man like Yassir. Big up. See, as he says here, smash the likes. Now they want to remember. Now they you want to start remembering. Madness. Yeah. Man, them politely tap the like button. Yeah. Politely, gently, just tap it. Just tap that shit. He's our top target. I don't get the hype of Diblin personally. Do you know what it is, Stanny Kush? Big up to that dog as well, man. What is that? Is that XL Bully? Because mad cute, man. I used to have one myself. But do you know what it is with Diblin? Diblin is a player that dribbles like he's from Spain. He's like Foden, yeah. They don't look English, as in the way they play, their style of football. They're like even the way they carry the ball, they do their little Sterling. You know when you run and he's got his hands back and he's doing all of this, and when they're on the ball, it's like they're doing all of these things. Everyone knows what I mean when you know them ballers. Like the man never doing this, they're holding their hand up, like they I don't know. The handbag is designer ballers. That's what we're gonna start calling them, designer ballers. Yeah, them man there. Yeah, that's what he's got. So he's got that dribbling that he can dribble in and out of, man. He's techie. He's got a finish on him. I don't know if people have seen, like, when he first blew up, it was before this season. It was last year. He's playing an academy game, under 21s for Southampton. And he scored the same goal 3 times. But it wasn't just a dead goal. Man dribbled past 3 man, got to the edge of the box, bang, bottom corner. Done it again. Dribble. You know when you see the halfway line glitch on FIFA, if that's ever happened to you, your head's gone mad. Yeah, you've seen that, yeah? That's what he was done. He was just dribbling from halfway line, dribbling past 5-man, edge of the box, bang into the corner. So he's very talented. I just don't like the price tag. Back in the day, this was a £20 million player, and £20 million would get you a good player at that level. Now Steph's trying to say 60 million and all these things, and he's scored about what, 5 Premier League goals? They've lost their monkeys marbles, bruv. They've lost their marbles. Like, Diblin's very good in it, very good, but I do not know about 55, 60 million for him. But Rafa's got Eze, Cherki, a good 6 in Paulinho, Angel Gomez, and Jarrell Hato. That is a very good transfer market. Though there's too many players in the middle there. You know, Cherki could be off the right, Eze could be off the left. I get what you're trying to do there, but I think it's either one of Eze and Cherki, and then you go with Paulinho, Gomez, and Hato. But it's, can't lie, I do like that. I do like those players though. Do you like though? And as Mr. Udang says here, subscribe to Durag Diaries. Come on. One of the only players that know it. And she's a Kane Corso. Fairs, one of my friends got a Kane Corso, man. I do love Kane Corsos. People think they're like some aggressive, man. They're like babies, bro. They're so gentle, them dogs, like mad gentle. So yeah, no, but big up to you, man. But moving on. See, I do check in with the chat. To who, I don't know where that guy is that said, do you even respond to the chat? Yeah, what's the point, FC? I do. So I'll go around to it, but we're gonna move on. We are gonna move on. We do have some people said they wanted to see the comparison, and I do have a comparison matrix that I actually did put together. So just give me a second and let me get that up. Let's get that up. So I have to zoom in a little bit more. Okay. Let me know how this is. Wait. All right. As you can see here. Oh, there we go. That's a little bit better. These websites just load up with ads, man. They're just always on this ad thing. Like, can I not exit? Rubbish websites, bro. Squawker, like, and all this white. I don't know who remembers seeing all this white. I remember it was just red, black. Like, it was so much easier to see. And now they're trying to do the color thing with the Premier League and all. Yeah, don't know what's going on over there. But we got Ray and Cherki versus Xavi Simons versus Eberechi Eze, the 3 players that we've obviously spoken about today, and we're just comparing their obviously league. It would be a bit unfair to add Champions League in for either or Europe, because Simons played Champions League, Cherki played Europa League, Eze didn't play any Europe, so I don't think it's fair to do that. But just looking at it from here, just so you guys know, we've got 34 games. 34 games for Crystal Palace played for Eze, 25 games for Xavi Simons, and Ray and Cherki's got 30 games. Per 90, Xavi Simons is the highest goal scorer at 0.5 goals per 90. Now, he's obviously played a lot less games than them, so I think it would probably go to, if we look at the total stats, let's go on total stats. He's got the most goals. Yeah. So I suppose, look, Simons is the best goal scorer of the 3. I think that's fair to say. He's obviously got less games and more goals. Can't really say much about that. When it comes to assists, Ray and Cherki leads the way with 11 assists as opposed to Simons' 7 and Eze's 8, which is still some good numbers. We do have to remember the level of leagues they are playing in. Eze is obviously playing in the Premier League, which is a lot more physical, a lot more faster than the Bundesliga. But then also the Liga on is very physical too. And it's a very hard league. Like, people try to play it down a lot, but I feel like when you see players move from League on to the Premier League, then they adjust a lot quicker and better than a lot of players that come from the likes of Bundesliga. So we got to be honest about that sometimes. When it comes to the chance creation side of things, again, you can just see here, this is when Ray and Cherki just begins to take over between these two, because the numbers are obviously a lot higher. The one thing with this is why I went to the per 90 stats, because because he's played a lot less games, it just makes sense to do the per 90 for a lot of these stats when we get into the accuracy, the chances created, and so on. So as you can see here, when it comes to chances created, Ryan Cherki is averaging a 3.3 per game, which is way more than Xavi Simons at 2.1 and Eberechi Eze at 2. His passing accuracy is an average 84%, as opposed to Simons' 82 and Eze's 81. Through balls, he averages 1 a game. And the reason I put the through balls and forwarded passes on there, because far too often you get creative midfielders like Martin Odegaard who sit there and act like they're number 10s, but they don't play the ball forward. They do the side-to-side thing. Oh, side, back. Like, they don't actually play it through the lines. So we need to see how many through balls these players are averaging. He averages 1 a game. So does Simons. But forward passes, he's almost got double Eze. And this is what I mean. Eze's a good player. But 25 million gets you a player that excels in all of these, as opposed to one that gets 8.1, 15.1 passes. Now, people are going to say, oh, look, he loses possession more than Eze. Look, Eze's got 15.2 as opposed to 19.2. Look at the through balls. He attempts way less through balls and way less forward passes. So because he's passing it side to side and backwards a lot more, he's not going to lose possession. He's playing it safe. So you've got to see it and understand it properly. Take-ons. Now, when it comes to dribbling, this is where Cherki and Eze are definitely a lot more similar, and they're better than Simons. I think Simons, with regards to his passing, is very good. Now, Cherki's obviously numbers look a lot better, but his passing is really good. He's obviously played a lot less games here, so the stats should be higher. It should be higher for him. So there's no excuse on that end. But with the take-ons, 52.7% as opposed to 37.8 and 51.9, you can see there already that Ryan Cherki is just excelling, and he's doing so much better than the other two in a lot of these stats. So I don't know about you guys. Let me know what you guys think, innit? Who you guys think the better of the 3 players? Who should Spurs sign? First of all, who do you think's the best of the 3 players? Let me run a poll in the chat, actually. Let's run up a poll. I want to see what you guys think about who's the best player. We're going to do Eze, Cherki, Simons. Let's see who you guys think are the best player. Because ultimately, I think Spurs need to sign who the best player is. Not who the best deal is. Because far too often, Spurs go for what the best deal is. If you get the best deal, I'm not a wheeler dealer today. I'm Champions League baller. Yeah? People seem to forget that. Man is, yeah? Gold Durag settings now. That's what we're on. So now that we're rocking the gold, we're in the big ballers, don't need to worry about the price sometimes. So who's the best player? Who's the best player? The poll is now in the chat. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who is the best of the 3. But man like Mr. Udang has come in to the chat with a banger. Matt Barlow, Daily Mail, has said Eberechi Eze, Tyler Diblin, Angel Gomez, Mark Gahey, and Fiaco Tomori are players of interest to Tottenham this summer. Now, it's very convenient that the Daily Mail are reporting that not just 1, not 2, not 3, but 5 English players Spurs are interested in. Come on, man. This is like, as much as Spurs have had interest with these players across the past year. We're not interested in signing all 5 English players this summer, man. Let's have it right. Let's have it right. Spurs are not going to sign Eze Diblin together. For one, that's already 120 million. Angel Gomez for 3, cool. Gahey, that's 70. So that's 190. We're not giving Crystal Palace 140 million in one window. Come on, man. Come on. Let's not be silly now. Let's not be silly now. He's chatting. He's chatting out of his ass. I'm not saying you are, Mr. Udang, but hey, man like Matt Barlow Definitely waffling. Definitely waffling. But Weeby Hunter says Eze because he's been proven in the English Premier League. Okay. Ye have is Eze is Premier League proved though. Okay, so SJ Eze's Premier League proven. Yeah, that post might be a bit old from January for real. For real, I do think it's an old post, or he's regurgitating old news 100%. Cherki is clearly better, but will he want to go to Spurs? That's the question. For real, you Chav. He might chat to his boy Ndombele, and Ndombele, he didn't have a good time at Spurs, innit? He didn't have a good time at Spurs. Adel Tarat did though. As I'm saying, it's the reincarnation of Adel Tarat. Bring him to Spurs. Let him know, bro, that you can have a good career if you just stay on the right track. Remember the times we had Kevin Prince of Boateng? We had Giovanni Dos Santos. We had young ballers coming through. Trust me. So I think the young players, they may want to come Spurs. London living, you know what I mean, man. Just let him know. Edgware Road, real close. You can go Edgware Road straight after Mayfair's 15 minutes away. Yeah. You want to get some shisha and baddies? We can provide. You know, I don't know, like lifestyle. Honestly, like people don't realize, like players get attracted by lifestyle. Spurs people will come to Tottenham for a London club. They'd rather come to Tottenham than go to a club like Newcastle, because who wants to go to Newcastle? If Spurs can offer you Champions League and Tottenham can offer you Champions League, and you want to go live in London, come on, man. Let's be serious now. Like it's easy. It's a very easy option. How's the poll doing? We got 21 votes. 57% have voted Cherki so far. So over 10, we're looking at 11 people. Simmons has got 10%. Eze's got 33%. It's looking dark. It's looking dark. It's going all the way one way. All these people in the chat that were saying Eze clearly not voting. Clearly not voting. Do you have a homegrown problem? No, we don't. We got plenty of homegrown players coming through. Man, there's a player that people haven't been speaking about and a transfer that we don't even need to happen because he's already a Spurs player. Man like Jamie Donnelly. Could he be available? Could he be coming back into the Spurs team to become a prime creator for us? Who knows? He had a very, very, very good season on loan at Leyton Orient. Now, obviously, he did play at the League One level, so I think another loan away would be good for him. But that loan has to be at a Premier League / European level club. He cannot go back out to a championship team. He already got team of the season at that level. Make sure you ship him off to the right place now, Tottenham. Like, we got to be a lot smarter than this. When Nabil Fekir was better than Cherki, no, he wasn't. Nabil Fekir was not better than Cherki. Now we're going mad. Now we're going mad. We're going mad. But we do need homegrown players for Europe, but we need club trained more. That's the thing, Starcrow. We need club trained players. So if they want to do a club trained thing, go out there and sign Kyle Walker-Peters. Just get him on there. Just say he could be on the books. Get him so he'll be on the books. He's a club trained player. He can be a left back option, you know, cover for when Jed Spencer's not available or for when Udogi's not there. Obviously, Jarrell Hato, I know someone put him in the chat earlier. He's a good option that could play centre back and left back. But look, you got to have multiple players in multiple positions, and that could be an option if we're looking to get a cheap player that needs to be club trained and homegrown. But look, this has been one of our first of many Tottenham transfer news videos. So make sure you are checking in. Smash the like button. Big up to Matty K. Big up, found you from George Achilles' channel. Big up to George, you know. Tottenham will win a trophy before Arsenal. I don't just say things and I don't mean it. I'll tell you a joke, but never a lie. That's what one of my best friends says. And you're going to have to remember that one, yeah? Tell you a joke, but never a lie. And that one wasn't a lie. So you got to take that one in. Take that one in. And if you are coming over from any other channel, make sure you're subscribing because your boy is real close to 2K. We're real close to 2K. So the support is very much appreciated. And yeah, man. So look, people, it has been a pleasure, as always, checking in with the chat, checking in with the people then. Make sure you're following us on the socials. All over here, these social things. Smash the subscribe button. Get us to the 2K. And if you want to show some extra support, you wanna become a member, tap the pinned comment, go on the link, become a member, or you can scan this QR code to buy me a coffee. But we're gonna send you over. Let's see who's live real quick. Let's see who's live. Okay, I can see that the Hotspur Cave is live. So I'm gonna send you guys over to the Hotspur Cave, who's doing a Tottenham YouTuber ranking right now. So hey, who knows? I might pop up in that video. I maybe make an appearance. Maybe they're doing a ranking. Who knows? But show some love. Make sure you put a DRD raid in their chat. A DRD raid, so they know where you've come over from. It's your boy Durag Diaries, and until next time, we are